Alright, we're back and we're at the next cutscene.
Needless to say, I am most eager to hear your account of that which occurred in Kurthis, assuming you're ready to speak of it.
I like swords, and I like
Excellent.
swords.
I shall summon the others at once.
Great.
Iceheart used her own body as a vessel for a primal soul?
Yes, he did.
Master Louisoir's writings make no mention of such a possibility. Can we be certain this entity was a primal?
As certain as we can be that good King Mogglmog XII was a primal, I should think. Both were ostensibly summoned.
Oh, this is starting to put a monkey wrench in the
Let's
whole
not
thing.
quibble over definitions. Of more concern is the implication that Iceheart retained her will, even after she was possessed. We are talking about a mortal, wielding the power of a primal.
Oh yeah, that's the thing, yeah.
It can't possibly be that easy, can it? There must be some sort of sacrifice required. Or maybe she's just special?
Did she have the echo?
What qualities this woman possesseth, I know not. But full sure am I that she was groomed for this role. Few are privy to the secrets of summoning, and but a single party standeth to profit from their dissemination.
Well, I wouldn't presume to comment on how the lass came to know about summoning, but I will say that what she summoned was a primal. The readings were the same, or near as damn it.
Near as damn it.
Strange as it all sounds, it's really no different from what you've faced before.
I hit it with my sword and it died.
Then mayhap it is time that we re-examined our previous encounters.
How do you mean?
Pack your things, Ida. We're going back to Gridania.
Uh-oh.
Yes, sir.
About Iceheart's final words to you.
Yeah, what about him?
Hear, feel, think.
Good question.
Hydaelyn speaks to her as well.
Yep, she's got the echo.
If Iceheart is blessed with the power of the Echo, she will doubtless have used it to further her goals. Or could it be that it was a revelation granted her by the Echo which first set her on this path? She did say that the Ishgardians were blind to the truth. Do you think she has knowledge of the origins of the Ishgardian-Dravanian War? It would do much to explain her unwavering conviction.
So wait, we don't
Did
know how
not
the
the
war
Lady
started?
Iceheart implore thee to seek the Keeper of the Lake?
Yes.
And did she not imply
Lady
that in
Lake.
so doing thou wouldst come to see with eyes unclouded?
I was promised a
Midgard
sword.
Zoma was a king amongst kings who reigned for centuries on end. But he is dead and his wisdom lost to the ages. Unless the Ishgardians' fears are well-founded.
Is he a giant cobra?
It would seem we have yet another reason to stand watch over the Keeper of the Lake. For a mercy, we are well positioned to do so.
Okay, well who's this keeper of the lake you're talking about?
Iceheart, Shiva, Ascians,
Shiva
and
bomb.
Midgard Zoma. I shudder to think how they're all connected.
I mean to scour the annals for knowledge of Midgar Soma. Given his great age, I dare say he appears in more than a few. Hear that? There's commotion outside. Would you see if aught is amiss?
Oh boy.
Boom! 'Tis well we have you on hand. We have a problem. Roal has escaped.
Oh, well, when you're that desperate to get fucked, you're gonna break out of whatever prison.
It happened shortly after the Immortal Flames took her into custody. She had been placed in a dungeon cell ahead of her coming trial, but apparently the accommodation was not to her liking. Even as we speak, Captain Iberd and the First are hot upon Roal's heels. Pray make haste to Camp Bluefog and join the hunt.
Alright, I'll meet you guys back at Camp Bluefog. Thank you for coming, model of car. I have spoken with the heroes here. They say that Roal walked through the camp not a bell ago. Aye, she walked right through. You did not mishear. We have Raban's decision to keep the matter secret. Thank for that. Bad for morale, he said. As a result, not a single flame in the garrison made any attempt to detain her, so here we are. Roal must not be allowed to reach the prison. Alright, and we are back. I'm still not 100% convinced that she's our Ivy. I think we just interrupted this poor woman's dick appointment. This wretch was with Royale. He threw himself at us that the mistress might escape. That his mistress might escape. The ultimate simp, huh?
But she didn't blink when we cut him down.
Oh, maybe she really is a sociopath. Not even when he started screaming. No loyalty even to her own. Goddamn harpy. With me, Scion. We almost have her. Okay, so I guess it's possible that she really is a bad guy. Alright. It's the way they framed it. It's like, looks like we just interrupted their liaison. Oh. Oh, so she's a Dragoon. Alright. Alright, she really is with the Empire. Weird, it looked like they were setting it up to be some kind of... The word I was searching for was fake out. Gotcha. Gotcha. Good duel. Bond her, do it tight, and cover your ears if she starts moaning. It's just a tactic she used to escape.
Good work, man.
She and her Imperial cronies pushed us close, but we were better.
Behold, a respected officer of the Immortal Flames. People looked up to you as one of the Order's founding members, one of its pillars. It saddens me to see you fallen so low. What would you know of low? You, a spoiled little lordling who's never known any want. People such as you take wealth and birth for granted. You think it your God's-given right to rule over others. You know not of our plight, the injustice that we low-born Ishgardians must endure. To the noble lords and ladies, we are not people but resources to be consumed. Oh God, I did what I had to do. Stealing, killing, even whoring myself. It's no fault of mine, you fools. Imagine me a paragon. I'm gonna betray my country to the Guardian Empire. To hear tell of it, one would think you were the only person to have suffered. In case you've forgotten, Reborn himself was born into poverty. Thank you! As was I. We lived hand to mouth, but not ass to mouth. You never go ass to mouth. With little more than the shirts on our backs, hunger was our constant companion. It's no excuse for being a criminal. Yet, never did we bemoan our lot in life, nor did we begrudge others their fortunes. We accepted the hand we were dealt, and played it to the best of our ability. And sometimes, what you gotta do is bluff, because sometimes the guy with the better hand chooses to fold. Life was a battle. Aye. No matter what fate threw at us, we took it on the chin, and came back for more. Everything we have, we fought for. How are we any different then? You decided to turn evil.
'Tis true we were both mercenaries of lowly birth. And 'tis true we had our fair share of struggles. But whereas I sold my sword, Marshal, you sold your comrades. Burn! If life has taught me one thing, it's that you never betray your own. I would sooner cut off my own arm than raise a hand against Frey. But enough talk. How about you? You will return to Ul'dah to face justice, and the people whose trust you dragged through the gutter.
Not so much as a hint of remorse. 'Tis well that this sordid business is finally at an end. A friend's betrayal cuts deeper than steel. We must hope that we have chosen our own allies more wisely than Reborn chose his.
I've heard. Truly bothersome business.
Bother. Oh, this asshole.
No, I do not foresee a problem on that front. The main concern is Reborn. There is no telling what the brute might do. Have the Blades watch him in the flames day and night.
Day or night.
You may leave the Sultana to me.
What?
I shall personally attend her grace.
You better not lay a fucking hand on Nanamo. You lay a goddamn hand on Nanamo and you're gonna bring your fucking
Sever one
neck.
of the East Aldenard trade routes. That ought to keep Lolorito occupied for a while.
Well, he's an asshole too.
Nanamo Ulnamo. For my sake, pray be a good little Sultana to the last.
You're gonna plot against her, aren't you? You son of a bitch. And I'm halfway across the world without my shield to protect her. Oh, fuck, they wouldn't kill her off, would they? No.
Captain Ilbert and I have a few questions for the Flame Marshal regarding the circumstances of her miraculous escape. When we have completed our interrogation, we shall take our findings directly to General Reborn. That shall be the end of it. The work here is done, my friend. Thanks. But we have one last task for you. Return to the Rising Stones and apprise Minfilia of all that has happened. I am aware that the antecedent held Royale in high regard. For better or worse, she will want to know how this tale ends.
Alright, so, headed to the Rising Stones. And here we are.
Welcome back, my friend. I have already received word from Alfino. To think that Flame Marshal Huayu was the Garlean agent.
Wait, Ryu?
I know not
That's how
what
it's
to
pronounced?
say. Together with
Hugs.
Reborn, Aline lent us much needed aid at the time of our order's founding. She was particularly passionate about the need to tackle the primal threat. When we discussed the subject, her eyes fairly shone with determination. Whatever else she may have been, I choose to believe that it was her true self with whom I spoke then.
So you're saying she was corrupted over time? That's possible.
But now is not the time to dwell on such matters.
Indeed.
I have an important announcement to make regarding our effort to defeat the Asians. We shall
Excellent.
begin as soon as everyone is assembled. My thanks for coming, friends. Moonbreeder, the floor is yours.
Moonbreeder.
By now, I'm sure you're all familiar with white auracite, the miraculous material that'll allow us to capture Asian souls. Back
sure.
at Snowcloak, we verified its ability to absorb vast amounts of ether. Alas, it leaves something to be desired in the area of stability. The stone can only store ether for a short while before expelling its contents.
Okay, so it can only hold it for a short while before taking a dump. Got it.
In addition to auracite's inherent limitations, we must needs be wary of our enemy's strength.
Yeah, it took like 24 people to beat him last time.
Our foe draweth upon an infinite wellspring of power. Even should we succeed in entrapping him, the stone will not long contain his wrath.
Meaning that, if we want to kill the swine, we'll have to be quick about it.
Yes, quite.
'Tis our belief that an Asian soul may be permanently undone, if smitten by a sufficiently concentrated burst of pure ether.
Excellent.
The only trouble is, we can't say for sure how concentrated the burst needs to be. Without knowing how much ether an Asian soul is composed of, we're basically guessing.
Now, just like trying to find the right dose of trank,
Our
right?
sole clue lieth in thy struggle with La Hebrea.
During that encounter, Heidelin bid you forge what she called a Blade of Light.
Oh,
A
yeah,
weapon
that.
which took the form of a luminous stream of energy.
I liked
Based
it.
on your description,
It was a glowing
we believe
sword.
the blade with which you vanquished your foe was composed of ether. Admittedly, your victory proved ephemeral, as La Hebrea was able to use a crystal of darkness to flee into the space that lies between our world and the void.
Would that be the X-Zone?
The fact remains, however, that Heidelin placed the means to destroy the Asians in your hands.
The sword? Of course it's a sword.
Be that as it
Sword
may,
solves everything.
it would be unwise to assume that she will do the same when we next encounter such a foe.
Quite so, my lady. We must needs find the means to forge our own blade of ether. One to equal that which Heidelin did benevolently bestow
Is it
upon
the
her
ultimate
champion.
weapon? Do they talk about different
That
weapons
is
if
all
you're a
well
different
and
class
good,
here?
but it seems to me that producing such a blade will require a prodigious quantity of ether. Whence will it come, pray tell?
My balls.
Oh, what if we had two pieces of white auracite? One to trap the Asian, and the other to store the ether for the blade.
You're a genius, Ida.
Oh, nice try. But it's as I said, the stone won't
right.
hold ether for any length of time. We'd still need to collect the stuff there and then, sorry to say.
And therein lies the rub. Finding a way to create the blade whenever and wherever we choose.
Twould seem more
What if we were to
research is in
store a
order.
crystal inside of a cylinder and had some kind of device inside to draw out the aether, and whenever I push the button, right, the crystal inside spins rapidly, creating a blade of light?
I'm going to linger a while, perform a few more tests on the auracite, and I could do with some help. Urianger, why don't you lend me a hand?
Mine apologies, but I am required
Oh,
at the
come
waking
on,
sounds.
man.
Lady
being
Minfilia
such an
hath
isekai
given me sole
protagonist.
charge of the premises. 'Twould be unseemly to leave them unattended.
Sole charge, you say? So you're basically alone there, then? Well, that settles it. I'll just have to come to you.
Hooray! Yeah, okay, I ship it. Why not?
While you were afield, word arrived from the Sharlayan motherland.
Oh.
You will recall that a survey party was dispatched to investigate the incident at the Isle of Val. What they discovered was troubling, to say the least. According to the report, the Isle has been erased from existence. 'Twas as if a hole had been torn in the very fabric of reality.
Whoa.
Aye. Yet the mystery endeth not with the Isle's disappearance. It hath come to light that a number of scholars in various other locales were reported missing at a similar juncture.
What's more, they all had something in common with the head of the students of Baldessian. Every last one of them was researching a phenomenon called dimensional compression, or the rejoining as the ancient texts call it. I'll be damned if that's a coincidence.
So they were trying to screw around with powers beyond the
All
ken of mortal
indications
knowledge.
suggest Asian involvement. But I sense that a force greater still is at work. The entity the Dark Beings call the one
let's talk
true
about that.
God.
Is it chaos?
We must pray that my dear friend Kryl regains consciousness soon. If she bore witness to the Isle of Val's final moments, she may be able to shed some light on this mystery.
But what happened to Galuf? Is Galuf okay? No. Oh. Rub on. Bilbert, Owlbear, or Alfie.
Following the calamity, the forces of the 14th Imperial Legion entrenched themselves in strategic locations across Eorzea. So swiftly did they accomplish this, it was suspected that they had received help. To think that it came from Huayu, my right hand.
How are you pronouncing that?
There is more. We have reason to believe that Huayu didn't deal exclusively with the 14th.
How are you getting...
She also answered to a higher authority in Garlemald. But this higher authority could not have been the Emperor. By consenting to the media project, Solus Zos Galvus showed himself to be more concerned about preventing the spread of primal influence than claiming Eorzea for the Empire. He would happily have seen the lot reduced to ash. We believe a number of high-ranking figures within the royal household were against the decision, but that they knew better than to oppose the Emperor openly. Of course, this didn't prevent them from making clandestine provisions, in which Huayu played a part.
How? Where are you getting Huayu from that spelling? How?
Alas,
what's the point in transliterating an ancient, a foreign language if you're going to make it not make sense?
Of the realm forever. Yet Eorzea survived. To all intents and purposes, the Meteor Project had failed, and the Empire was left to rue its lack of a decisive means to eliminate the primals. Until, that is, it stumbled upon the Ultima weapon.
Even before the accursed thing was dug up, it seemed to me the 14th had the might to overwhelm our weakened armies. Yet they chose to hide behind their walls. Why?
Well, castle's a force multiplier, you know?
The Black Wolf was wary of making the denizens of Eorzea desperate, lest more primals emerge to bleed the land. The discovery of the Ultima weapon, however, emboldened him to resume his war of conquest in earnest.
Makes perfect sense.
But there was one in Garlemald who believed that Van Belsar's actions were premature. One who stood higher in the Imperial Army's chain of command. He ordered the Legatus to halt his advance, only to find that the Black Wolf had slipped its leash, and that the 14th now acted alone. In a bid to bring Van Belsar to heel, he used the agent he had planted in Ul'dah prior to the calamity to undermine the Legion's efforts.
A man who outranks Van Belsar, yet opposed the late Emperor's decision to annihilate Eorzea. This could only be the former High Legatus of the Garlean army, now known as Emperor Vorissos Galvus.
Of course. That
So
evil-looking
he
son of a
was
bitch we saw.
Huayu's true master.
Huayu? How do you...
But one of several in actual fact. We've learned that even as Huayu served the Empire's interests, she sold Imperial secrets to a certain faction in Eorzea.
Yes.
In so doing, she helped to maintain the status quo, thus prolonging the conflict. Considering who stands to profit from war, it isn't hard to imagine who her other masters were.
Seven hells! You mean to say that she was a double agent?
Triple, if you consider her services to Van Belsar and the new Emperor as separate.
I don't want
As
to
neatly as these pieces seem to fit,
definitions.
one aspect of the puzzle remains unclear to me. By whose will was the Marshal feeding intelligence to the heretics? And try as I might, I fail to see how aiding their cause would profit either her Imperial or Monetarist masters. Could it be that another hand is at work here? If so, Huayu must be made to reveal whose it is.
Let me guess, she's gonna swallow a poison pill before she has a chance to, thereby increasing the drama. Ooh.
Not only have I lost a trusted friend, now I must interrogate her as a stranger.
Not a pleasant task, I grant you, but a necessary one.
Sure.
Unless we weed out the ivy, root, stalk, and stem, it will simply grow back.
I know that full well. Those closest to Huayu have already been detained, and I will question them alongside her.
General, pray keep in mind that there may be unwitting abettors among them.
All will be treated fairly. On that you have my word. Those who are innocent have no cause to fear.
You have ever been a friend of truth, General. I hope the unpleasant task of weeding out falsehood will not detain you too long. Though it be for the sake of Eorzea, doubting one's comrades is poison to the soul.
Your poison running
And
through
with that,
my
I
veins.
take my leave.
Ass and balls. Ow.
All these years, I've been made to dance to their tune.
Just execute the bastard.
How could you, Huayu? How could you side with them? Those cankers who take from this land and give naught in return.
Yeah, they're
Who
bastards.
use their
Fuck 'em.
power to disempower and grow fat while the people starve. I know you can hear me, monetarist scum. Your crimes will not go unpunished.
Tell me I get to kill the little piece of shit.
One day I will purge this land of your sickness.
Hell
Before
yeah.
the eyes of the 12, I swear it.
Good. Oh shit. Are they trying to manipulate the Sultana into firing him or something? Ugh. Oh, more scene. She's gonna move
I shall
all-
have no further
so
need
cute.
of you this day,
Oh?
Your Grace.
Oh, her. Lady in waiting.
I fear that not even mine own chambers shall remain private for long.
Oh, do you got a boyfriend coming over?
Has the situation grown so
Kan-E.
grim?
Were you there the whole
Ever since he
time?
proposed the Cartiner Reclamation Bill, Taleji Adeleji has risen to greater prominence upon the backs of impoverished refugees.
Bastard.
The monetarists were ever united in their pursuit of profit, but the man's actions have torn a rift in their ranks. They snap at each other as rabid dogs.
Damn.
Yet now is not the time to be bickering among ourselves.
If this bickering
there
is a
too?
threat to law and order, might you not have grounds to dissolve the syndicate?
Right? I keep saying that.
Would that the solution were so simple, Admiral. Alas, my moving to dissolve the syndicate is certain to spark outrage among the influential merchant class, whom the Cabal represents. This would serve to exacerbate the current unrest, and peace would slip still further away.
Oh, well,
Be they
there's
rich
that.
or poor, natives or refugees, all who reside in Ul'dah have a right to pursue happiness. It is the duty of a ruler to protect this right. If I am to perform my duty, I must needs tread warily. It would not do to make enemies heedlessly.
Is must needs even grammatically correct in any context?
Were Lord Lolorito here, he would doubtless say that I have my head in the clouds.
Well, he's got his head up his ass, so
A ruler is
clouds are
required
so
to
much
take
better
a
place to
wide
be.
view. Try as we might to cater to all needs, some will inevitably be overlooked. As such, there shall ever be citizens who feel aggrieved. It cannot be helped.
Yep, key to failure is trying to please everybody.
But as you have informed us, the monetarists take no view but their own. They hunger for power while the masses starve. In the absence of a common cause, It seems beyond any one individual to make Uldar whole.
Just stab them. Fine.
And the presence of a Garlean agent within the immortal flames only makes matters worse.
That it does.
Even accounting for Uldar's historic reliance upon mercenaries, such a grievous breach of security is unprecedented. I fear this business will provide the Monetarists with a rod to beat Rauban.
Oh my.
Eorzea can ill afford for the immortal flames to be dampened now. Ere long, the Garleans will turn their ravenous gaze toward our lands once more.
Of course they will.
If we are to resist their might, our nations must stand together. Yet for this to happen, our nations must be whole. Cannot be done to improve the situation in Uldar.
Kill the fucking Monetarists!
The true wealth of Uldar lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her citizens. Alas, the citizens shall never know these things, so long as their lives are ruled by the ambitions of the few.
Oh, God, that cake looks so good right now.
The Monetarists claim to represent the best interests of the people.
Well,
but in
so does
sooth,
the
they desire
Empire,
only
but
to
you don't see
manipulate
them
them for their
doing
own
good stuff,
selfish
do ya?
ends. For the government to serve the people, it must be formed of the people.
Wow, that's a very modern viewpoint for someone living in a medieval fantasy setting.
For Uldar to move forward, it is not only the Syndicate that must be dissolved.
You want to abdicate the throne, do you?
Nay, you jest.
My friends, it was for no other reason than to make known to you mine intent that I requested your presence here.
Oh, I thought you just liked having us around.
When I make my declaration to the people, chaos shall inevitably ensue.
Then, did you know that chaos is going to ensue? Do you have a plan in place? Do you have someone to write you up a constitution?
As the
Do you
last
have a...
monarch in the line of Ul, I make unto you this request. Help Reborn to preserve order and protect the people.
Oh, really? Is he going to be the first
Forsake
president?
them, and you forsake yourselves. For a strong Eorzea will ever have need of a strong Uldar.
Yeah, we got all the warriors, right, or something.
Your Grace, are you certain of this?
You want it in the middle of a frickin'... What? You... I mean, yeah, you want to move to, representative government, right, is what you're saying, but is this really the time? When all this world-ending shit's going on, is this really the time?
There is no other way. When the time is ripe, the nation shall become a true republic. Both royalists and monetarists shall cease to be. Uldar will no longer belong to kings or queens or merchant princes, but to her people.
Just with all the stuff going on with the Empire.
Reborn, forgive me for casting aside all that you have toiled for in my name.
Aww.
Beyond this gesture, I am powerless to help my subjects.
Are you sure the Monetarists are gonna... I don't think they're gonna take being dissolved lying down. Alright, the next stage of the quest has us talking to Riol. Pleasure as always, Boone. You'll be escorting the commander to Uldar, I take it. Absolutely. Actually, I had another task in mind for him. Oh? Alright. Repeat yourself. Right then. Me and mine have been making inquiries into the source of the weapons that found their ways. Oh, back then. This guy looks like Zell. So it happens we caught wind of something promising. Rather high launch of High Bridge? Sorry, I'm reading ahead so I can kind of memorize the line a little bit. I doubt this man would have secured such a quantity of weapons. My throat's still messed up, and I know why. Because it's before 9. Because it's before 9. Need more coffee now. Bah!
Seizing the weapons before they fall into the wrong hands would be for the best. However, if we strike at the appointed hour, we might capture the Black Marketeer as well as his clients. What say you, Boone?
I like swords!
Then it's settled. Rendezvous with Captain Ibra at the High Bridge and intervene when the exchange takes place. Now then, if you would excuse me, I must leave for Ul'dah. I expect good tidings.
I got a bad feeling about this. Ah, boom! My scouts have been keeping a close eye on the Black Marketeer, and it would seem that his guests have arrived. It also seems he's hired more than a few men to stand guard, common thugs of no consequence, but they nevertheless pose a threat. Not to me. Even so, I feel compelled to apologize. This is far beneath a man of your standing, and Commander Le Villiers needed to dispatch you hither. But powerful men have need of loyal, able-bodied friends. Having found one in you, 'tis only natural that he'd want to come to rely upon you without hesitation. Now then, we should make for the burning wall without delay and secure those weapons. The first unit will ensure that the clients do not escape. With me, Boone. Who goes there? An adventurer? Damn fool! Never should have come here. Hello? Anybody there?
I don't understand. What's this all about? Alfie?
Grok! Clever sound effects. Love it. Okay, but did you uncover the potato responsible? As you can see, this is a fine mess. When I tried to restrain him, he drew a hidden blade and lashed out. Before I could disarm him, one of my subordinates panicked, and this is the result.
You sure one of your subordinates...
How foolish of me to underestimate the bastard. And to bring an inexperienced recruit. Yeah, that was pretty stupid on your part, sir. Commander Le Villiers will be most disappointed. You know, sometimes me and Alfie are, like, on the same page. It's like, I say something and he fucking says it too. Damn it all. Golden opportunity. Wasted. Like girl wasted. As for the clients, though we don't know how, they slipped past our perimeter. At present, oh my god, they're ninjas. At present, the first is tracking a party of Duskwhite sellswords we suspect may be them. Whether we could have enlisted the aid of the Immortal Flames or the Brass Blades, alas, we're to aid them. They're in no position to hate us. Well, at the very least, we've secured the weapons. Yet even that accomplishment is lacking, for the information we received indicated a massive shipment. This is anything but.
It's a diversion!
Alright, I'm supposed to deliver some weapons to Yu Yu Hakusho. Alright, Yu Yu Hakusho, here we go.
Ah, the Warrior of Light, ever reliable friend to the Crystal Braves. You have my dearest, deepest thanks for your assistance in Kurthus. Now, what brings you to us this day?
Weapons. Got weapons for you. Here's some weapons.
You want some weapons, buddy?
But can I keep the swords? I like swords.
A gift of weapons from a certain Black Marketeer, you say? Understood. Once we cataloged all the contents, I'll have them delivered to the Hall of Flames.
This cannot be everything, can it? Right, it was... come on, wait and see. We all stated with confidence that there'd be a far greater quantity of weapons.
Well, I can't expect to carry that many weapons in my pants.
A blatant falsehood, clearly. Real as unfamiliar with the ways of old merchants who strive to present themselves as greater than they are. We should be thankful that his information was not completely erroneous and that we managed to achieve anything of worth at all. Ugh.
It's still something worth celebrating, isn't it, Lieutenant? Besides, we got more important things to worry about.
Like getting some more cheese!
Like fighting those Galleons up north. There'll be no fighting if I have anything to say about it. Our orders are to stand watch, not to seek glory in battle. If you have no further need of us, I shall take my unit to the Cerulean processing plant.
Time for the Fourth to earn their keep, eh? Fight well, Alyan, for the freedom of all.
Yeah!
Excellent work as always, my friend. Rest assured that the Immortal Flames will hear of your contribution. Until we meet again.
Keep your feet on the ground. Boone!
A word, if it please you. Not here. Look for me at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. No need for whistling this time. Don't you worry. Oh yeah, that's right, the whistling. Thanks for indulging me a request. Few places better than a market for privacy, I find. All the hustle and bustle of commerce means that most conversations go unnoticed. I'll get to the point. At the Burning Wall, when you and the captain interrupted the exchange, what happened? Tell me everything. Leave no detail out.
Didn't actually see what happened.
That's not quite how the first told it. These Duskwights they were chasing. Latest word is that we lost the trail. But you never saw them yourself. Not before the fighting started, not after. Something ain't right. I don't know what it is, but I can build in my bones.
You're right, Zell.
I'm not daft enough to be misled by some merchant's drunken boasts. Our information was reliable, goddammit. I know he purchased those weapons. As if I never deciphered a moneylender's book, or had to follow a transaction back to its source. Did plenty of that back when the Braves were getting started, believe me. The commander wanted assurances that we weren't taking gil from the wrong sort of benefactors. Of course, these days money flows like water, and the first and third get the shiniest new toys.
But of course they do.
Forgive me, friend. I have a lot on my mind these days, and I appreciate you lending an ear. Right, then, let's get back to it.
Boone, can you hear me? It's Tataru. Come hither, we need you.
Tataru, buddy-o pal.
Thank you for coming so quickly, Boone. We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak to you. A most, determined lady by all indications.
Oh, better eat some oysters.
We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you. I believe the two of you have met.
Yes, indeed. Where can I get your cuirass? Cuirass, whatever.
We have. I had hoped to speak with Commander Leveilleur as well, but I cannot afford to wait any longer.
Alright, my room's that way, so...
The Lord Commander sent me hither to request your aid in a matter of grave import.
Oh, that, right. I forgot. I'm a hero.
You see now why I had Tataru summon you.
You're trying to get me laid, aren't you?
Now that we're all assembled,
but where are the
perhaps
swords?
you would be good enough to elaborate on the nature of the matter which brought you to us.
No, but seriously, where can I get your armor? You've actually got groin protection.
Astrologians have sounded the alarm.
Uh-oh. Bad
Last
juju.
night, the Dragonstar burned with an intensity not seen in 15 summers.
So, 10 years before the Calamity. Got it.
Not since the Dravanians engaged the Empire in the Battle of Silvertear Skies.
Am I missing some lore here? I mean, it makes sense that my character wouldn't know this anyway, so it's fine.
The northern sky doth burn full bright upon the Wormlord's call.
Oh.
The red behemoth beckoneth.
Do we have ourselves a new
flame
trial?
Consumeth all.
Right.
The old Curthan rhyme, aye. The brightening of the Dragonstar is said to accompany the roar of a great worm. The astrologians believe that it was Midgard-Soma himself who cried out on this occasion.
I see.
After an absence of centuries, the King of Kings did return
that's
to
not
meet
the
his
King of
kind
Kings.
against the might
There
of
is only
Gollum,
one King of Kings, Pilgrim, and that is not he.
only to fall in his duel with the Agrius, proud flagship of the Gallian fleet. Devoid of life, his corpse remaineth entwined about the Magitech monstrosity
couldn't help but try to
even
hump
unto
it,
this
huh?
day.
Urianger has the right of it. Whatever this alteration in the Dragonstar portends, the Great Worm has shown no sign of life.
So is he not a primal? I guess he's not a primal. But what's going on?
Tataru, have the Domans reported aught out of the ordinary?
Does she have any spoken lines?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if Midgard-Soma had roared, wouldn't we have heard it here in Revenant's Toll?
I don't know. Where's his body?
Roar is but a figure of speech. Dravanians can communicate in ways beyond our ken. It is for this very reason that we are forced to look for signs in the heavens. We cannot say with any confidence that a great worm roared at all, much less that it was Midgard-Soma.
Well, who
Only
else
by
could it be?
directly examining the Keeper of the Lake can we be certain.
Oh!
However,
Cool!
it
I
will
get to
take
meet
too
the Lady of the
long to
Lake
gain
now?
the Holy See's
Great!
approval
I
to
want my
dispatch
sword!
the Temple Knights. Therefore, Sir Emric would entrust this task to you. Do you accept?
As long as I get to keep all the swords we find.
We knew you would not disappoint us. Now,
Also,
if you would
lady,
excuse
where can
me,
I
must
get your
return
battle
and assist
skirt?
the Lord Commander. We have precious little time
Where
to
did you
prepare.
get your armor, ma'am?
To prepare for what, pray tell?
When a great worm roars, his brethren cannot choose but answer.
Ooh.
We prepare for battle.
That's a pretty bad... I'm gonna take a screen capture here. I love the kind of woman who could kick my ass. Alrighty then, well... In the next one, we are going to... Oh,
forgive me if I state aught which you already know, but I would ensure you understand the nature of your destination. As Royanje said, what we now call the Keeper of the Lake is a wreckage of the Agrias. Oh, it's not a strange woman lying in a pond dispensing a sword? It is the wreckage of the Agrias, former flagship of the Imperial fleet, and the corpse of the worm responsible for its destruction. 15 years ago, as the next step in his campaign to subject Eorzea, Gaius von Belsar attempted to seize control of Moldona. So massive was his force that all thought his victory was a foregone conclusion. But an unlikely ally came to Eorzea's aid that day. Midgarsolma, legendary guardian of Silvertear Falls, burst forth from beneath the waters of the lake, led by a host of dragons against the Garlean airships overhead. Oh, you couldn't have told us in a massive cutscene? Whatever. In what would later be known as the Battle of Silvertear Skies, Great Worm felled countless airships before engaging the Agrias. In the ensuing struggle, the flagship's ceruleum engines failed, and it tumbled to the lake below. Yet this victory came at a great cost, for the explosion which followed claimed the life of the Great Worm as well. In that same explosion, transforming Silvertear Falls into the desolate wasteland it is today, draining the lake of its waters and crystallizing aether for malms around. Yet a remnant of the lake remains, and at its center a constant great reminder of that fateful day long ago. It was only 15 years ago. In accordance with Sir Emmerich's wishes, our Doman allies have been standing watch over the Keeper of the Lake. It would be wise to speak with them before investigating the wreckage yourself.
Alright. Well.
Be careful, my friend. We know not what dangers await you within.
Oh, sure you do. Monsters that I gotta kill with my sword.
Now then, let us not neglect our own tasks. There is much to be done and precious little time to do it.
In the next video, we're gonna continue with the Rising Chorus. This has been Steakdriven with Driven Adventures. Have a good day. Yeah, boom! Gollum. The first unit will explore Duskwhite Cell Swords. No, not Wilfred.
I get the weapons from a serpent.
Your
Your presence is urgently requested at the West.